There's a side of the Sigma male that most people never see. He's known for being quiet, calculated, and calm. He avoids drama. He doesn't chase power. He stays in his own lane, and for the most part he prefers it that way. But every man has a line, and when that line is crossed, something inside him changes. This shift doesn't happen often. It's not triggered by small annoyances. It takes something serious. A betrayal, a threat, a challenge that pushes past his boundaries. When that moment comes, the Sigma doesn't explode like others do. He doesn't yell or throw punches. What he does is far more unsettling. He snaps into a version of himself that is laser-focused, fully aware, and absolutely unshakable. This is what some people call his warrior state. It's not about violence. It's about presence. The warrior state is when the Sigma male activates a deeper part of himself that most people never get close to. It's the part of him that's built for survival, built for leadership, built to take action and cut through nonsense with absolute precision. You'll know when it happens. His energy shifts. His tone sharpens. His decisions become faster, and his patience disappears. He's not cruel, but he becomes incredibly clear. There's no more hesitation. No more explaining. No more waiting. In this state, he's not just protecting himself, he's commanding the entire moment. He's not seeking a fight, but he's fully prepared for one. And that balance of control and readiness makes him a force that people don't know how to deal with. What follows are 6 very real things that start to happen when a Sigma male enters that state. Not in theory, but in action. These changes don't just appear out of nowhere. They are built into him, waiting to activate when life demands it. Thing number 1, razor-sharp focus. The first sign that the Sigma male has entered the warrior state is his focus. It sharpens like a blade. Everything unnecessary fades into the background. There are no more distractions. No more noise. Just the mission in front of him. This kind of focus is different from everyday concentration. It's not about being productive. It's not about staying on task. It's a kind of tunnel vision that locks onto a goal and doesn't let go. Whether it's solving a serious problem, protecting someone he cares about, or confronting a threat, his mind filters everything down to the core issue and starts moving with purpose. He doesn't multitask in this mode. He doesn't get pulled into side conversations. If something doesn't serve the goal, it gets ignored. This is part of what makes him so hard to stop. He becomes immune to distractions. Small talk, emotional bait, attempts to throw him off, they all bounce off because his mental lens is locked in. Even his physical behavior changes. He stops fidgeting. His eyes stay fixed. His hands are steady. His breathing slows down. He's in control of his body because his mind has taken full command. And the people around him can feel it, even if they don't understand what they're feeling. This focus gives him the edge he needs in tough situations. He can outthink and outmaneuver people who rely on emotion or impulse. He doesn't react, he responds. Every move is measured. Every choice is built on awareness, not guessing. It's not coldness, it's clarity. The world gets quieter in his mind. All the noise falls away. There's only the goal, only the path, only the mission. And he walks it like he's been planning it forever. Thing number 2, energy surge and intensified presence. Right after his mind locks in, something else kicks in, his energy. It doesn't mean he becomes hyper or loud. In fact, the Sigma male often gets quieter in this mode. But the shift in presence is undeniable. The people around him feel it before they see it. This isn't adrenaline in the traditional sense. It's more like a controlled charge of electricity running through him. He becomes more grounded, more alert, more intense. His posture straightens, his eyes sharpen, and his tone becomes firmer, even if he says very little. People who are used to his quietness suddenly find him harder to ignore. His silence doesn't just feel calm, it feels powerful. Every word he says carries more weight. Every step he takes feels more deliberate. And even without trying, he starts to dominate the space around him. It's the kind of energy that makes others pause. They might not be able to explain it, but they sense it. It's the feeling you get when someone has fully made up their mind and nothing can move them. That's the Sigma in warrior state. He's not just physically present, he's fully activated. Even those who normally dismiss him start paying attention. His energy isn't wild, it's precise. And that precision is unsettling to anyone who thought he was easy to manipulate. In this state, he doesn't waste motion. He doesn't speak unless it matters. But when he does speak, people stop talking. When he moves, people move with him or get out of the way. He's not trying to lead, but he's already leading. Not with force, but with presence. This intensified energy gives him a kind of authority that doesn't require permission. And in moments where strength and direction are needed most, that presence becomes more valuable than anything else in the room. Thing number 3, strategic aggression and direct action. In his usual state, the Sigma male avoids unnecessary conflict. He prefers peace, distance, and subtlety. But when he enters the warrior state, that changes. He doesn't seek chaos, but he's no longer avoiding it either. If the situation calls for it, he becomes aggressive, but not in a wild or careless way. It's controlled, strategic, direct. This aggression shows up in how he makes decisions. He stops hesitating. There's no more overthinking. No more weighing every possible reaction. He already knows what needs to be done, and he does it. If someone is standing in his way, he'll confront them. Not with shouting, but with words that cut straight to the truth. If a situation is toxic, he won't dance around it. He'll call it out. If something is wasting his time, he'll shut it down without apology. This shift can be shocking to people who are used to his calm demeanor. They're used to the quiet, private version of him. But in this mode, that quiet becomes a weapon. He doesn't need to yell to dominate. He just moves forward, unbothered and completely in control. He starts taking action that others avoid. He makes calls, ends relationships, starts difficult conversations, and faces risks that require courage. And he doesn't flinch. That's because he's not acting out of anger, he's acting out of clarity. This kind of aggression isn't random. It's focused. The Sigma male isn't trying to destroy everything in his path. He's trying to break through whatever has blocked him. And once he sees the path clearly, he moves fast. He's not reactive. He's surgical. And when the job is done, he doesn't wait around. He leaves the noise behind and keeps moving. Thing number 4, emotional control and calm under pressure. Some people crumble under pressure. Others get loud, defensive, or emotional. But when the Sigma male enters his warrior state, his emotions don't disappear. They become organized, controlled, quietly powerful. This is one of the most dangerous parts of the Sigma in this mode. While others are panicking, he's breathing slowly. While others are lashing out, he's watching. While others are breaking down, he's building a solution in his mind. He doesn't allow pressure to shake him. In fact, the more intense things become, the calmer he looks. That calm isn't fake. It's earned. It comes from years of internal battles, struggles no one saw, but that shaped how he reacts now. People may try to trigger him, to poke at his emotions, to throw him off balance. But it doesn't work. His face stays unreadable. His voice stays low. His words stay clean. And every reaction he avoids gives him more power in the moment. That's because emotion clouds judgment. And in this state, the Sigma isn't here to feel. He's here to solve, respond, and move forward. He saves his emotions for later when the moment is safe. Right now, it's about being effective. Even in arguments or intense conversations, he won't raise his voice. He won't play games. He'll say what needs to be said and then move on. If the other person can't handle that, he won't match their chaos. He'll end the conversation altogether. This level of emotional discipline makes people nervous. They can't read him. They don't know what's coming next. And that mystery, combined with his calm strength, creates a presence that demands respect, even from those who don't like him. Thing number 5. Boundary reinforcement to a new level. The Sigma male has strong boundaries even in his normal state. He protects his time, his space, and his energy. But when he snaps into warrior mode, those boundaries don't just get stronger, they become walls. He doesn't tolerate games. He doesn't tolerate disrespect. And he certainly doesn't tolerate being pushed beyond his limits. If someone crosses the line, he doesn't give warnings. He takes action. In this mode, he becomes hyper-aware of who's draining him, who's disrespecting him, and who's wasting his time. And once he identifies them, the separation begins. He's not interested in long explanations or emotional debates. He makes the cut, and that's it. This boundary setting doesn't always look aggressive. Sometimes it's just quiet distance. Other times it's a direct confrontation. But no matter the form, the message is clear. This line will not be crossed again. He might block someone without notice. Cancel plans without guilt. Walk away from a conversation mid-sentence. To others it might seem cold. But to him it's necessary. Because once the warrior state is active, protecting his peace becomes the top priority. He no longer gives chances to people who have shown they don't deserve them. He no longer entertains confusion or manipulation. He trusts his instincts, and if those instincts say step back, he moves without regret. And the people who have pushed him too far usually don't get a second chance. This boundary shift isn't emotional, it's decisive. And it leaves no room for guessing. People either respect his space or they lose access to it. And once that door closes, it rarely opens again. Thing number 6. Decisive disconnection or reset. When a Sigma male reaches his warrior state, one of the most powerful things he does is disconnect. Not emotionally, strategically. He looks at his life and removes whatever no longer serves him. And he doesn't do it slowly. He does it with full certainty. He may walk away from a friendship that's become toxic. He may leave a job that's draining him. He may end a relationship that's been crossing his boundaries for too long. And when he makes that move, there's no speech, no drama, no back and forth. Just silence and distance. This is one of the hardest things for others to accept about the Sigma male. He doesn't break ties the way most people do. There's no warning, no begging, no explanation. Just a quiet exit followed by complete detachment. It's not about being heartless. It's about protecting his mental space. When the warrior state kicks in, he sees with full clarity. He stops tolerating situations out of politeness. He stops entertaining people who don't respect him. And he resets everything fast. He knows when something is beyond repair. And once he knows, he doesn't linger. He resets his environment, his energy, his goals. He even resets how he sees himself. Because this version of him, the one activated in this high-pressure state, doesn't have time to hold on to dead weight. That reset might include deleting numbers, changing routines, or cutting entire social circles. It may look extreme, but for him, it's freedom. It's control. And it's what brings him back to alignment with who he really is. He doesn't explain the reset to others because he doesn't need their approval. He just acts. And once that disconnection is complete, he doesn't look back. For those who pushed him to this point, it's a wake-up call. The same man who was once patient, forgiving, and distant is now gone. And what remains is someone who knows exactly what he wants, exactly who he is, and exactly what he will not tolerate ever again. The warrior state of a Sigma male is not something most people will ever see. He keeps it hidden, buried deep beneath layers of control and restraint. But when it does appear, when he's forced to call it forward, it changes everything around him. He becomes more focused, more intense, more direct. His emotions settle, his energy rises, and his actions become sharper than ever before. He doesn't lash out, he locks in. And from that place of clarity, he resets whatever needs to be changed. He doesn't snap the way others do. He upgrades. He steps into a version of himself that few are ready for. And once that version appears, the world around him has to adjust, because he's no longer bending to anything. The warrior state isn't about ego. It's about survival. About mission. About rising to meet the moment without flinching. It's rare because it takes a serious shift to activate it. But when it's activated, the Sigma male becomes something that can't be ignored. And once the situation has been handled, once the decisions have been made and the actions taken, he doesn't boast. He doesn't gloat. He just returns to his usual self. Quiet. Controlled. Observant. But never quite the same. Because every time he's pushed to that state, he comes back sharper, stronger, and more certain of who he is. So if you ever meet a Sigma male who's entered his warrior state, pay attention. What you're seeing isn't rage. It's precision. What you're feeling isn't intimidation. It's power. And once he's in that mode, there's no stopping him.